Thanks for listening, everyone. I'm Crash Gladys, leader of the Race to Be Fit team, and the Crash Diet, no, not in the negative connotation of the word. Instead, it's the Crash Diet because, well, my name is Crash, and my diet for you all is natural, fun recipes. Basically, it's what I, Crash, suggest to you that's right for your body. And joining me now is someone who definitely knows what's right for your body. He has a PhD in nutritional science. He's the CEO of Service Foods and the author of the book, What Matters. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Dr. Keith Kantor.
Oh, thanks for having me, Crash. I appreciate it.
You got it. Well, okay, the holidays are here, and everyone's going to be tempted by party food, rich family recipes, adult beverages, yada, yada. I know I overindulge in adult beverages. How in the world can people stay healthy and still enjoy holiday get-togethers?
Well, the biggest problem during the holidays is we overindulge. You know, we've been waiting all year for Aunt Mary's special recipe of something, so we tend to take in way too many calories. So what you have to do is have a plan before you go to these parties or get-togethers, or we just passed Thanksgiving, but, you know, for the dinner meals for Christmas and things of that nature. So you have to have a plan. And the first part of the plan is not to go to these parties or dinners starving. You know, if you go there and you're famished, you know, and you just want to eat everything in sight, so what you have to do is eat before you go, and what you'll eat at home is usually healthier and a lot less calories than what you'll consume at the party. And I don't mean eat, you know, 5 minutes before you go, but if it's a dinner meal, have a late lunch. If it's a lunch meal, have a late breakfast, and that'll help a lot. Another thing that helps a lot, especially if you tend to indulge in alcohol, is to drink a lot of water. If you drink water before you go, in between servings, and most importantly, in between drinks, like I drink wine. So if you're worried about overindulging, because, you know, alcohol has a lot of calories in it. If you have a glass of water in between each drink, you'll eat less food, which will save you a lot on calories, and you'll have less alcohol, which will save you a great deal on calories, plus obviously too much alcohol isn't good for you.
Is it somewhat true I'm sorry to interrupt you here, is it somewhat true that the more water you drink, the more full you feel? Because sometimes that seems to work for me, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, so that's the idea behind it. You know, your stomach and your intestines will only hold so much volume, so if you tend to have a lot of water ahead of time and in between, it will, very temporarily, but it will fill you up quicker, and since water has no calories, that's a good way to fill up, plus water is, you know, very healthy for you. The third part of the plan is when you get to the home, it's usually set up as a buffet in most cases. So what I tell people to do is survey the buffet before you just get at the beginning of the line and start taking scoops of everything. And what you'll notice is there's a lot of duplication in categories. There'll be several different casseroles. For instance, there'll be several different types of stuffing. And of course, when you get to the desserts, there's, you know, many different desserts. If you look over everything first and you look at what your favorites are, instead of having 2 or 3 different types of casseroles, pick your favorite. And if you have to pick 2 of them, then have half a portion of each, so you still only end up with 1 portion. So you're still eating what you really enjoy, but you're not overindulging, and it's the same thing with the stuffings. There's no reason that you need 3 different types of stuffings. Pick your favorite, or if you really have to have 2, just split it in half so you still only have 1 portion. And of course, when it gets to the desserts, you want to really make sure you pick your favorite. And if you have to have more than 1, cut it in half. Or if you have to have, you know, more than 2, cut it in thirds. So this way you get to taste Aunt Betsy's famous lemon meringue pie. So you didn't insult anybody, but you still didn't overindulge too much in the calories. I've had several interviews lately on not so much healthy eating tips, how not to overindulge, which is the biggest problem during the holidays. Because the American public gains between 5 and 10 pounds from Thanksgiving through Christmas, and a lot of them don't lose it, and they call that weight creep. So if you're gaining 5 or 10 pounds, not losing it, even if it's once a year, and you do that over 5 years, all of a sudden you're 25 to 50 pounds heavier.
Well, we talk about overindulgence as far as it just being holidays, but it seems like America just kind of has a mentality of overindulging no matter what. Dinner time has become almost a 2-plate serving anymore, and it seems to be one of the leading contributors to why America is one of the most obese nations. So taking these tips from the holidays throughout the year would be great. What else throughout the year might you recommend for someone just to be better in choosing their foods?
Well, it's not just choosing your food, and it all goes back to the very beginning. We don't teach our children, but America, especially our children, are addicted to sugar, and sugar isn't good for us, and it usually comes with a lot of calories. The same thing with fats. So you could choose your foods and eat a lot healthier and a lot less calories and still make it taste great, but that's not what we do. We're used to the restaurants where they give us these huge portions. We feel like we have to finish what's on our plate. And of course, when you eat out, which unfortunately America is doing more and more, we used to eat 5 to 6 dinner meals at home as a family, and now we average a little over 3. And for the rest of the meals we're having, we're either eating out or bringing in takeout or having, what most people classify as junk food. And those foods in general have more sugars, more salts, they're more processed, and they have a lot more fats and different types of dressings, etc. on them that contain a lot of calories. So one thing that we should do is eat home more, where we're in control of what we're preparing, and then we could make sure that we're eating healthier food, we're eating all natural food, and we're watching the calories while still enjoying what we eat.
Holidays are a tough time, but it's also maybe one of the best times to start new habits. And like you said, having your portions and taking an assessment of the buffet table and choosing, I'm just going to eat this and not that. It's a good way to start new habits and moving into 2013, keeping them for the whole year.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Check out servicefoods.com, check out greenboxfoods.com, and of course, keithkantor.com. And for the Christmas list, why don't you guys pick up his book, What Matters? Because you'll get a lot of good information in there as well. Thanks again, Keith.
Thank you for having me.